Yo, what is up, YouTube? Today I got a standard deck for you guys. More content, keeping it out. I'd like to shout out my sponsors before I start. TC Evolutions, use code Rahul10 for all the dice needs you have. And PTCGO Store, use code Rahul5 to get 5% off your code. Descriptions will be in the link below. Um, so this is a deck that Ryan Vari and his friends sent to me to try out. Huge shout out to them. I didn't put any work into this list. It's all them. I figured I'd hold it until they were ready for me to post it, but a friend of mine, Joey Rojas, also played this deck for a little bit, and he posted his list on Twitter, so you can check that out as well. Joey had a little bit of a twist on it with Cryogonal, but Salazzle Hand is a deck that Ryan Vari and his friends sent to me, so all credit to them. Great guys, awesome, and thank you to them for letting me play it. And so here's the list that I played, a couple of cards off the one they sent me based on my intuitions. So the idea of this deck is pretty simple. You use Salazzle to draw as many cards as you can per turn, and then you use Unknown Hand to, when you have 35 cards in hand, you win the game. So simple, right? It's nothing complicated, nothing crazy. That's pretty much how the deck works. So I'll break down the deck a little bit. There's Ditto Prism, can evolve into Salazzle. It's just another thing, and it also gives you the out to Ninetales. So a lot of Ninetales is our out to Guardian and all these niche decks. I did want, after I played my cup, I did want to cut one of the Emolgas for a Vulpix or a second Ninetales, theoretically, just to have the out guaranteed, or like a 1/1 cut here to make a 1/1 line, because the Ninetales would have been so good against the Guardians and the stuff like that that I would have faced. Granted, I didn't face any. My loss in top 8 came to a Green Zard playing Omastar and 3 stamps. The Omastar is what got me, not the stamps. So you might be thinking in your head, how does this deck not lose to stamp? It's simple. You just put the correct cards in the correct places. So even if you get stamped, you have enough resources to just draw another 15 cards the same turn, or 12 cards and be like, go. Or 9 cards and be like, go. And you just ask your opponent, what can you do? If you don't do that, then within a turn or two, I have checkmate kind of thing. And every time, and like if they don't stamp you at a turn where you have like 20 cards in hand, you almost certainly can get game off of that using crystals, lookers, whatever. Um, for Rangru, Ryan sent me a list with 3 in it, but I had tested some hands and I kept prizing 1 or 2, and it got really annoying when my loops weren't being broken. Not only maybe because I was bad, but that there's one Psychic Salandit, so you can use Oak setup to get it. You can go a 2/2 split if you'd like. Um, but then there's 3 Call for Families, which is also good to just get and do on turn 1, or if you open it. 4 Salazzle Roast Reveal. Once during your turn, discard a fire from your hand. You may draw 3 cards. There's 3 Emolgas. Nuzzle Gathering is super good because it has free retreat, and it also, because it's a pivot, and it also searches for a card, and it's a free calm target if you need it, and also it's like, if you have one Emolga out, that's a +1 every time that you don't get stamped or whatever, to get another card out of the deck. So it's been super. I really liked how useful it was with my free calm targets. It was a really good Elm target turn 1. Like my late game Elms weren't like completely dead kind of thing. I don't know. It was a good card. I liked it. Cobalion GX is a card to, if your opponent's gonna end the game or there's a turn where you can pretty much just like lock them out, you can Iron Rule into game next turn. As simple as that. Just prevent yourself from losing. 2 unknown hands. So Pokemon makes sense, right? 4 Fire Crystal, self-explanatory. 1 Palpad, and 4 Poke Communications, all pretty self-explanatory, I want to say. 2 Reset Stamp, just to make sure your opponent doesn't like build up like a huge hand and can do whatever they want to do, because decks like Mewtwo or Green's decks can do that. So to give yourself a chance, you can Reset Stamp them once they've taken enough prizes, especially against decks like Malamar or Baby Blounds. I don't know. It came in handy against the Alolan Persian deck I played round 1, because he was building a big hand and he didn't realize I could stamp him, and then I just went with the stamp when he was at like 3 prizes, and then I won the game 2 turns later. So yeah, 1 Hearth and 1 Factory. Factory is good to draw cards. A Hearth is just another out to draw cards. You don't need more than 1, in my opinion. Brock's Grit is good because it gets you pretty much all your Pokemon back and all the basic stuff. So energy, so it gives you pretty much everything. 6 cards is a lot. Giovanni's Exile gets you discard some of the dead weight off your bench, so you can go Giovanni's into Brock's the next turn and then draw those Pokemon back, which is really cool. I tried that. I did that twice at least, and it was like really, really good because I was able to get that Emolga and like Emolga and like Cobalion off my bench, and then the next turn I went like Recycle to Salazzle, retreated into hand in hand for game. So it's pretty cool. For Looker, if you do the Rangaroo loop correctly, you can Looker loop, unless you get stamped, you can Looker loop correctly for the whole game, where you can go like uh, Roast Reveal, Roast Reveal, Roast Reveal, Fiery Flint, they're all back to my hand. A Rangaroo that plus 2, like a Looker, another Looker, and like another piece that you may need, or another Oranguru or something at the bottom of the deck. And that way, like, even if your Oranguru gets knocked out, you draw, you promote a Molga, free retreat pivot, and do it all over again. 4 Elm, 4 setup. It's as consistent as the deck can get because you need to get the turn 1 Salindits out. You need to be able to set up off of that. Setup gets you Oranguru and 2 Salindits if you need it, or Ditto and 2 Salindits, which is why Ditto is also really cool in this deck. Elms gets you pretty much the same. And then from there, Comms is really what you need. If you need to get 1 Roast Reveal up, you can get the game going. 2 Recycle Energies. Oranguru gets knocked out, you get the energy back. You don't have to dig for another energy, waste an energy. 11 Fires, self-explanatory. You need cards to draw cards. The deck has really good matchups into everything besides ADP, in my opinion. ADP absolutely smacks you. Green Zard and Guardian are about 50-50s, especially because Guardian has Magical Miracle. But yeah, that's the deck. I played it at a cup. I got top 8. I was 401 going into cut, or 501 maybe. My only loss being no losses in Swiss, and my only loss in top 8 was to the Greens Rescue Zard with the Omastar and the reset stamps, which is a difficult matchup anyway, in my opinion. So Omastar sucks for you. He didn't prize any pieces any of the games, so that's also unfortunate for me. But that's the deck. Shout out to Ryan Vari and the guys. Check out Joey Rojas' version with Cryogonal on his Twitter. Yeah, shout out the boys. Thank you guys for watching. Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video and enjoy it for the rest of Standard for like the 3 weeks that we have left.